another episode of the Court of Influence, and we have very amazing person today with us. That is Harshita from Trace Your Case. And I think ये in person को कोई introduction की जरूरत नहीं है. But फिर भी to start off with the segment, we would like to ask you a very pertinent question: Who is Harshita Agarwal?
Okay, so my name is Harshita Agarwal. I am 22 years old. I am currently in my fourth year of law school. I am studying at OP Jindal Global University. I am doing BBLLB honors, and I am still figuring out what kind of law do I want to get into. Do I want to practice or do I want to just be doing corporate job or do I want to litigate? I'm still figuring everything out. But yeah, I am studying and I'm trying to figure everything out right now.
That's great. And I think you figure out one thing very, very clearly that trace your case is going to be a huge thing for us. So, why particularly trace your case? What is the story behind that?
Okay. So I was in my second year of law school. Second year had just started and it was lockdown period. And we were all summoned to our houses and nothing was working out. Our college was also actually not going on that time. I think we just had classes and we didn't have exams and all of that. But I did have legal subjects that the cases of which were acting as a trouble for me because I had to read all the judgments to know the cases. And as you go on with your years in law school, the workload just keeps increasing. And so I thought to myself, if there is anything that can give me briefs of the cases that we have to read, but there wasn't anything that was as comprehensive as a proper website that is just dedicated to briefing cases that people need to read in law school. So I talked to some of my friends and I thought that there was a need of this. And because we were all we all had a lot of time in hand that time, and it was just something new, and I've always wanted to create something of my own. I was just I was just like, Let's not give it a try. Why not give it a try?" So I spent 3 to 4 months just working on this in COVID, and that's how Trace Your Case was born.
That's that's one hell of a story, Harshita. Like, being a law student, figuring out what are the loopholes in the current mechanism in the social media that are available, and then all by yourself, you're working on it. It must be really hard because you need to read the cases, then you need to brief them, right? So
Yeah,
working on
exactly.
that and then getting such amazing response from the audience as well. So that's really commendable, Harshita. But at this point, I would like to ask you a question. Ki let's say this whole podcast is like a trial going on, right?
Okay.
And let's say ki you have to present an opening statement for your case, right? Ki this is my case, I'm going to win it. And judge के सामने आपको अपने podcast, अपनी journey से related कोई ऐसे opening statement, ऐसे full on story देनी हो. So what is that thing that you like to say right now?
I would just start by saying that don't judge a book by its cover. Get to know the entire story behind it. You have time in your hand. The entire setup of a courtroom is so that you can get to know a person and then judge on the basis of the actions and the law. So I would just say that keep an open mind. Um, don't judge a person based on preconceived notions. Give it time, see what all has gone through and what all has gone into that person coming into that situation that you're in front of them, and then make up your minds according to what you think is the perfect thing to do.
And if we ask a question from this book that why you started with law in the very first place, I mean, what came into mind? Are you a first generation lawyer, or what is the story behind choosing law?
Okay, so yes, I am a first generation lawyer. I don't have any sort of legal fraternity like in even in my extended family. So law, because I feel that I've always found the legal thing very fascinating, to be able to go around the law and use the law to someone's benefit or to someone's not a benefit. I think using the law is a very powerful thing that someone can do, and being able to make a difference to the entire society with the help of law, I think that's something that inspires me.
You can name us a few web series or courtroom dramas, movie might be, you know, that कि ये
Yeah,
तो
so
कुछ थे.
definitely. Yeah, so Suits was definitely one of it. Then there was this another show, The Good Wife. It
Hmm.
was
Yeah,
completely based on law. And then when I talk about Hindi dramas, Pink Legal was something that was, very societally impactful, and
living.
the way they portrayed the entire thing. And there are so many new shows that are coming up. Illegal, Criminal Justice. Criminal Justice is amazing. I've
Amazing.
loved the entire series. And I think it actually inspires you to do much more than you're actually planning to do, and make a difference, go out of the way for your clients and help them, even though you're not from that established background or something like that was shown in criminal justice.
Whole legal story behind the books and the movies is entirely different picture what we saw in our daily life. ठीक है, I think आप
Hmm.
भी fourth year तक पहुंच चुके हो अपनी law life के. You must have interned in certain places. Law college must have been very different ball game altogether. So, by this time, is there something you would like our viewers to know, or maybe the younger lawyer generation to know, that this is your greatest learning ever? This is something everyone needs to keep in mind while going through law or while working in law.
So being a first generation lawyer, I had made peace with the fact that I have to make my own paths to success, and I will have no help whatsoever. Even though my college does help us with internships and all of that, at the end of the day, it's you who has to take that effort to apply and all of that. So I feel that me personally, I've tried to diversify a lot. I've just not focused on one thing. I have tried doing different things in law school, which I think gives me an edge over the others, because I can mold myself into different kinds of situations. And I feel that even if you're stuck towards criminal or litigation or towards corporate, I still feel that law school is one place that you have 5 years to experience different things before you actually have to decide upon something. So I feel that diversification can go a long way in a person's life, and not limiting yourself to just one particular thing, I think is my greatest learning so far.
Harshita, on that, and I would like to ask you a question, which I think a lot of people would also have in mind. Being a law student, currently in
Yeah.
fourth year at Jindal, managing like daily key readings before classes, your submissions, your internships, maybe committees and extracurricular, co-curricular, and at the same time handling an entire social media account by yourself. So how do you try, strike that right balance between this? Because a lot of time people get so engrossed with social media that it affects their grades or maybe their
Yeah.
co-curricular, extracurricular, or even if you're so focused on your grades, so your pages or your channels won't do good. You need to give that right amount of time. So how do you strike the right balance between the two?
So I wouldn't say that I have perfected this form of balancing, but I do try a lot to balance everything. So for me, like the first month of law school is not that pressurizing. So I try to focus on my content during the first month at least. Right now, I'm actually not posting on Instagram that much because I have been very caught up with classes, and you do need an individual space to shoot. And because we live in dorms, we don't have that personal space yet. So I tried to shoot a lot of content whenever I go back home, so that I have a buffer for whenever I come back to college. But with YouTube, that I've seen is YouTube has actually been a little more helpful, because I shoot my day, so it's not like I have to do something out of the way to shoot that video. And editing does take a lot of time, so I try to do that in between classes and when I'm not in the state to study. And but during exam periods, I don't think I focus on social media that much, because at the end of the day, I do have to have good grades to make a career for myself. So I try to balance it out that way.
And do you think this entire social media thing that you have developed from scratch is helped you out somewhere in your legal career, maybe developing some skills that are very pertinent for a lawyer or an advocate?
So yes, definitely. I never did any sort of debating competitions or MUNs in my school life, and I was always shy of speaking in front of the public. Even though I was very akin to being in front of crowds, because I was always into sports and I was in front of crowds and all of that. But I never developed that. I never overcame that fear of speaking in front of the public, But I feel that as time passed with social media and I kept making videos, I overcame that and I felt much more comfortable. If someone told me to go and speak in front of 100 people right now, I probably can. But if someone told me that to do that before, like 2 years ago or something like that, I don't think I ever could. So, and in because you have to speak in front of like 50 people in a courtroom, I feel that it's really important. And because I interned once at a high court, and you literally have 2 to 3 minutes to just present your case, and you need to be perfect, so that the judge is convinced enough, and so that he just does not rule against you. I feel that you should have that communication skill, and I think that social media has helped me a lot in gaining that confidence that I can speak well.
Do you think that notes or writing research paper is important for a student? Because there are a lot of students who, either just focus on their grades, or there are students who just focus on their co-curriculars and internships. So do you think there is a need to strike the balance? And do you, are you able to strike that balance, or are you also in the favor, कि just एक चीज करनी चाहिए, or you feel कि दोनों करनी चाहिए?
Okay, so I experienced this a while ago. I was applying for a top tier internship, and in their form, they did not just ask you for your grades or for your extracurriculars. They had a proper 10-page questionnaire talking about you, your development, your experiences in law school. And they do factor in a lot of extracurriculars as well as your curriculars. So I was told to answer certain questions about moods and whether I've gotten myself into ADRs, and have I published any papers yet. So I feel that other than overall development that you can have with moot courts and ADRs and publishing papers, I feel that if you want to, if you're aiming for a particular top tier job, then you need to diversify right from your law school years. So, and I feel that it's a great experience. Like I've done mooting and I enjoy mooting a lot. It's like a great experience because you get so much in-depth knowledge about a particular subject matter that you're working on. I feel that it's a really nice experience.
That's great. So मतलब सबको ये पता चल गया, all the viewers out there, कि balance strike करना बहुत जरूरी है. ठीक है,
Yeah, yeah,
सिर्फ और सिर्फ you
definitely.
cannot just focus just on your grades. You need to have a overall CV to get good internships or jobs in future.
So, what are your future goals? मतलब, where do you see yourself 5 year down the lane?
I honestly have not figured anything out yet. Do I want to do corporate? Do I want to do litigation? Or do I just want to pursue my startup? I have not figured it out yet. But I do have my placements in like 4 months. So I really do need to figure it
Figure
out.
it out.
Yeah. I mean, I have always wanted to litigate, but I did enjoy the white collar internship that I did in January. It was a corporate internship. So, I mean, I still have to figure it out.
So it's for all the viewers out there. It's okay to not have a clear plan when you enter
Yeah.
law school or in your initial years of law school, but towards the end, you need to get clarity onto
Yeah.
it, right? Because that is how your entire career is going to be. Okay, Ashita, so I think this brings us to our last question for the day.
Okay.
And this is basically, let's imagine ki you are still preparing for law school, you are going to law school, you might have a lot of misconceptions. Okay, let's go back the entire memory lane. What is that one advice you would like to give yourself based on your experience in law school till now and based on your learnings from your internship, social media, and all this stuff? What is one advice you would like to give your younger Harshita? Ki, "Yaar, it's okay, ho jayega. Take a chill pill," right? So maybe there is one advice or one motivational thing or any such thing which you think that a person who is about to enter law school should know about.
So I think this is a very real problem. I have actually gotten a lot of messages saying that hi, I've not done any debating, I've not done any MUNs, but how do you think that I can fit into law school? It actually did happen with me. I did face a lot of issues in the first semester because they ask for your CV, and your CV will then just be high school competitions that you did. And because of that, it did act as a drawback because I was not getting inducted into the societies that were really essential for me in law school. But I feel that if you do not have that background, you should focus on societies that take you on merit and not on the basis of your resume. Just like an ADR society or a MUN or sort of or a moot court society because over there you're inducted from the beginning and your resume does not play a role at all. It's all on you. So I feel that if you do that, you do tend to build up your resume that will cater to law school. And I mean, it's okay that you don't have any past experience, but I don't think it will be okay if you don't build it in law school as well, because that's literally how you should what you should do in law school, because you need to prepare yourself for the future. So I think that's one thing that I would say. And also that law school is not like high school. No one will spoon feed you. I learned that the hard way, and professors will just give you what you have to do, and you have to do it all on your own. So like I think you should understand the fact that it's not going to be as easy as high school.
I think we all learned it the hard way.
Yeah.
Well, so on that note, we'll wrap up this amazing session, although we don't want to. But yeah, thank you so much, Harshita, for coming along and giving your valuable inputs on all the questions that we asked. And we'll just, wrap this session up and see you again maybe on
Yes,
Legal Edge
definitely.
Law School soon, very soon. So, thank you for all the viewers watching this episode. Stay tuned for more such amazing, episodes we are coming up in the Court of Influence. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.